Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about From Dusk Till Dawn. And this movie came out in 1996, and it's directed by Robert Rodriguez, starring Quentin Tarantino, George Clooney, and Harvey Keitel is in it too. And I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I had a lot of fun. And this movie is also written by Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez. And Tarantino, I believe, wrote a few scripts in the 90s that he did not direct, like this, and also True Romance. I remember that being a script that was written by him, and also he helped with the script for Crimson Tide, I believe. And here we have a movie that's by Robert Rodriguez, who I don't hate. And I like one other movie from him. I liked Planet Terror, and I know that came out after this movie, but this one I've never seen before, and I heard some similarities with this being compared to Sinners, and I decided to check it out, and I had a lot of fun. It was a good movie and very different experience in terms of my own personal enjoyment of this movie, although I would probably rate it the same. But I think I'm more quickly to rewatch this over Sinners, personally, because it's more or less the highs were higher in From Dusk Till Dawn, but the lows were much lower in this same movie as well. Whereas Sinners, it was a bit more consistent for me, like in comparison at the very least. And I don't have Sinners fresh in my brain. Like it's still there, and I saw it not too long ago, but I do feel as though there are some similarities, but I do feel as though they're very different experiences overall. But I'm going to stop talking about Sinners for a little bit and just talk about From Dusk Till Dawn and what I liked about it. I thought the dialogue was great in this movie, and I love that Tarantino dialogue that these characters are given and have to deliver. The characters are very memorable and fun overall, and the acting's great for the most part, and I enjoyed the practical action. I love the stuff that's in camera. The goofy action is kind of fun in concept, although not that well filmed, in my opinion. I also enjoyed the licensed music. I thought it added to the tone a lot and made it very entertaining to watch. And there's plenty of memorable scenes. And what I knew going into this movie was that the first half was going to feel like a Quentin Tarantino movie, and the second half was going to feel like a Robert Rodriguez movie. And that's what I got. And the two halves feel very different, and I personally prefer the first half over the second half. Not because the second half's bad, but I just was more into what the first half was offering and what I got out of it, and we hadn't really gotten introduced to the fantasy element of the movie quite yet, and it was much more grounded in the first half, and there were some things that I really liked and just really attached onto in the first half, and was just so memorable to me. Whereas in the second half, yeah, it's fine, and I can see how people would be entertained and really wanting to come back to it, but I think I'm just more of the loving of Quentin Tarantino dialogue more than the action in this movie. I think that's more or less where I stand on this movie. I also enjoyed the comedy in this movie, and there were some really great visual gags in this film as well that I really loved. They weren't like consistent throughout the entire film, but they were sprinkled in there enough to where the average person, I feel, would notice at least one of them. And I was personally never bored at any point in this movie. This movie is like the perfect runtime. It's like an hour and 45 minutes. So it just flies by for me. It's very goofy and silly when it wants to be, and it just knows exactly what it is and delivers on it. But going into my issues with this movie, Quentin Tarantino, I think he's a great director and a great writer, but the one thing that always drags his movies down is whenever he's in it, because I just don't think he's that good of an actor. And the more he's in an acting role, the more I don't like him, and it kind of just drags the movie down. And he's in this movie a lot, and he's not great. He definitely stands out as the worst actor in the entire film, in my opinion, and he was also just kind of distracting. There were also some uncomfortably close ups of people's faces at times, which kind of pulled me out of the movie. Also, in the second half is where it more or less turns into a horror movie. I liked the build up to it and how things kind of play out, but the actual creatures themselves, I wasn't really a fan of. Like, just their designs, I just wasn't in love with them personally. And the visual effects didn't really look fantastic, in my opinion. They just looked dated. I wouldn't even say bad, it just dated, because I have seen worse from this time period. I don't think it looks too far off from something like Jurassic Park, but it just didn't look that great to me. But one of my favorite aspects in this movie would be just the two main characters bickering over each other and just fighting constantly, and that stuff's always fun, especially with dialogue, which I really love. And honestly, this movie has enough about it where I can definitely see myself rewatching this movie again, and I would definitely recommend it. It's a lot shorter than Sinners, and I think I'm more likely to watch this movie again over Sinners. If I'm forced to choose between the two movies, I would pick this over Sinners because it's shorter. And just the highs are higher in this movie. But also the lows are much lower in this movie than in Sinners, like I've said already. So definitely check this movie out whenever you get the chance. And with all that being said, I'm going to give From Dusk Till Dawn a 7 out of 10. And like I've said earlier, same rating as Sinners. I gave both this and Sinners a 7 out of 10. Same rating, but very different experience overall. Thank you for watching my videos. As always, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below what you thought From Dusk Till Dawn, and my social media links. They will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Persona. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.